and this is Sea Life. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very special guest with me, my son Jacob, and he's been a big part of getting us started with YouTube. I had no idea how to do it, and he's kind of played the IT man and helped me out. Now he has his own channel. It's called JC Studios, and it's a wonderful channel about IT and digital arts and game development.
Various electronical things. Sometimes I unbox my technology just to show you guys what it looks like when I get a new piece of gear. Actually, my channel is older than their channel, surprisingly.
Yes, because we asked him to start a channel for the farm originally, and he decided that his content was just not keeping up with the farm anymore, and it was so much more IT related.
Well,
so
that, and they went ahead and made their own channel, so
yeah, and we so enjoyed it.
They really enjoy the farm stuff, and I'm like, let them have it. But anyways,
so today
we got pecans that Mom had already picked, and we're gonna crack them.
Yep, we're gonna get cracking our pecans because I'm gonna be making pecan flour. I add pecans to my meatloaves. Pecan flour to my meatloaves. You can coat your fish with it. You can coat meats and
you
chicken
can actually
and
use
fish.
the pecan meat as flour.
Yep, it's just the pecan meat ground, and that is pecan flour, and you just pulsate it. You don't.
Now, be careful not to get the shells in there.
Oh yeah, we've learned that.
So
we're just gonna crack them right now.
Here,
I'm just cracking them right here.
Oh, okay, we're gonna do them.
So
where do you want them?
Right here in here.
Okay,
yeah,
I'm just gonna throw it in there.
But we're just gonna crack up a few real quick, and then we'll pick the meat out. And then we'll grind them up and make the flour. And also, you can also make pecan oil.
Now that's something we need to experiment.
Now pecan oil, what you do is you get your pecans out of the shell and you just heat them. Low temperature, heat them like 200 degrees in the oven first. And then you go ahead and grind them up, and it makes that will make pecan nut butter, and you set the butter on the shelf for a little while, and the oils will separate, and then you can pour off your oil, and then you have pecan nut butter as well as pecan oil.
Yep.
So I think this is a beautiful idea. We just happen to have a bunch of free pecans this year.
Yeah.
So that is beautiful.
Free pecans.
And so we're going to make use of these. We are going to take advantage of this for sure. And so thankful to the person who's allowing us to pick pecans. And he knows who he is, and we're just so thankful for that.
Now, some people, they get into a big debate over how to pronounce pecan. Now, when I was younger, I heard it as pecan most of the time. You know, that's more of a northern thing. Pecan is probably southern.
Might be a little more southern, yeah.
And there's also like, I'm sure there's at least 3 ways to pronounce it, but you know what, we're not going to debate that. How you say it is how you say it. Tomato, tomato.
That's right.
You know.
And there are so many, you can use pecan flour in cakes. And when you do, you will taste the pecan a little bit. In almond flour, you wouldn't taste the almonds. But pecans, you will taste the pecan flavor a little bit because they are very oily. And so when you do use pecan flour, you will It will impart some of the pecan taste into whatever you're using it on. But I thought this would be so enjoyable, and I thought you guys might really enjoy this as well.
Now, this is actually a unique kind of cracker. It has a double-sided die here, which has threads going down the base of it. So you can unscrew it all the way out and actually turn it around. So it can fit just about every kind of nut you can think of. So this is really nifty and very useful. So we've tried it with hazelnuts, we've tried it with pecans, with, oh, I'm sure there's a few others. But yeah, these were actually a pretty good buy.
Yeah, they were.
Where did we get these?
That's a good question.
Is it?
We've had those a long time. We've had them a long, long time, and I just don't know.
Now, pecans are actually like a business in Georgia.
Yeah.
Like a big
Yeah,
business.
it's a huge business in Georgia. Yeah, it is. And it has been for
Generations.
Yeah, lots of months. So
We're blessed to have access to any.
yeah, that's right. That's
Like
right.
this.
They're so ecstatic to have access to pecan trees that we can pick from. But it's not uncommon to find pecan trees in Georgia that people will allow you to pick from. You just have to ask. And, you know, most people are very generous. And so it's very nice. And it's not uncommon to find pecan trees that were just wild, that just grow on your land as well. We do have a couple of pecan trees on our land.
But they're not really mature yet, are they?
Well, they may be starting to produce, but we just haven't, they've got some brush around them and stuff like that, and we just haven't gotten down there to them. Not yet. As you can tell, we're very busy on the farm here.
And when I'm not doing college or YouTube, they wrote me into the projects.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's why you see me on her channel quite often, actually.
And a lot of times, at first when I started picking pecans, I didn't know which pecans were good and which ones were bad. And so
It's kind of tricky, actually.
it is. It can be tricky.
Like, these two are almost the exact same size, right? But one is lighter. This one is actually lighter. And if you crack it, you can tell that the meat is shriveled.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, really?
You'll feel
Whereas
the
this
difference in
one,
the weight. Yeah, these ones.
if I pick it and remove the husk, you can see that it's actually got some decent meat right there.
Yep.
To eat. So that's one way to tell, but still, you can't really tell by weight either.
So, usually when you're converting recipes and you're using pecan flour, you use about, I'd say about the same amount of pecans meal, and pecan meal is also called pecan flour. Pecan flour is called pecan meal. You use about the same amount of meal as you would the flour in any other recipe, as far as I can tell. Now, you may use less oil, like if you're making a cake, you may want to use less oil because the pecans are so oily. But, so we're just going to,
Looks like I'm keeping the nuts cracked while you pick them away.
I'm going to start picking them away, yeah.
Looks like that's what I'm doing.
We're going to see if we can get this can full.
You're wanting to make that a whole can.
And also, something I just thought of too is when you're doing this, you want to crack your pecans fresh out of the nut, and just grind the amount of flour or meal that you need right away. And in order to make the flour, you just throw the nuts in the blender and pulsate it, you know, gently pulsate it until it looks like a meal, and then you go for it. And it is a little bit more grain. It's not as fine as flour. I never make it quite that fine. I always, you know, it's always a little more chunky,
Yeah.
but that it works out beautifully. Okay, more.
And sometimes when you pick a large harvest, you get nuts like that, where the top is already eaten out.
Oh
You
yeah,
don't
you
want that.
find the squirrels have been to them.
Don't look for those nuts or the ones, or you want to look for those in your mass gathering that you got, you know, your collection, but you also want to look for ones with holes in them, because if they got a hole in them, that means there's a bug.
Yeah, that's true. Yep, you don't want any buggies.
So yeah, you know, a little sorting would probably help, but
We got kind of excited and we just gathered as much as we could, as you probably noticed, and we brought them right to the house. So we're just going through them as we do this.
that one even crack.
So it's a fun family activity too, by the way.
It can be, yeah, because you know, it's repetitive enough that you kind of get mesmerized and going and going. It's kind of like a assembly line.
It is. It can be. You can set it up as an assembly line. Because somebody else could be grinding right now. That would be nice.
Oh yeah, that would be something.
Yeah.
If we really had it.
And then somebody else could be throwing the grind and the meal into the bowl and say, okay, you have enough. Or not.
If we wanted to be like a real assembly line and make a business out of it, that's what we could do. So, are you gonna put my link in the description?
Yes, we will put Jacob's link in the description if you would like to check out his IT.
Technology and life channel.
Yeah.
You know, arts, technology, life.
Yep, it's called JC Studios.
Yep. There we go.
And we have a daughter also, Cinda, who is on iHeart Radio.
She was in a podcast.
Yeah, in
Not
a
too long ago.
podcast, and she has a podcast. It's called, or she is
She
in
was on a podcast called Behind Those Heels.
Behind Those Heels. Yep.
I think she was just featured though. I don't think it's her.
Oh, okay, okay.
Her podcast for sure. But shout out to Cinda.
Yes.
If she views this at all.
Yeah. She may.
Put
Every
the link
once
to
in a
your
while, my kids
podcast in the
watch.
description if you did, or in the not in the description, in the comments.
Yes.
If you do see this, Cinda, go ahead and put your
Podcast in the
link
comments.
in the comments.
Yes. And you guys, speaking of comments, if you don't comment, we really don't know you watched. So it's pretty hard for us to watch back for you if we don't have a comment. So please, if you watch us and you have a YouTube channel and you'd like us to watch back, please put that in the comments. And we will certainly do it. I spend a lot of time every day on YouTube watching back for people. So
Yeah, that's a sweet thing that my mom does.
it's just something I love to do.
Not sure how that really works out in the long run, but
It's just something I like to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
yeah, definitely an interesting concept.
It is. I like to help the small YouTube channels grow, and when they watch me back, I watch them. So I used to watch, and I still do watch quite a few large channels as well. And so if you're a large channel, that's okay too. Just put in the comments, and I will most likely watch and subscribe to you too. as long as, like I say, as long as it's YouTube approved materials, it is not family friendly, I'll say, then we probably wouldn't watch that. But other than that, you know, we don't care if it's building an automobile or whatever. We just don't care.
Talking about your day, you know, that's something people actually do.
Yes, talking about your day. That's interesting to us, believe it or not.
Believe it or not, some people actually enjoy hearing other people's day.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, oh, I'm not going to mention their names, but there's a travel channel that they love, and
oh yes,
they're like one of the top channels on YouTube. But anyways, these people, they feature like traveling most of the time, and they just pretty much talk about their day, but they're traveling all the time, so it's always in motion. So that's one of the things that they really enjoy is
oh yeah,
hearing about their day like that.
That is so. I love travel channels. Yeah, but there's so many. I like people doing makeup. I like, you know, so many things that we love. We like the beer channels. We like the home brewing channels. Love that. And my husband does some home brew with wine so far. We're studying home brewing, but and very considering it very seriously. But
now there's always room for improvement. So if you think there's anything that Mom needs to improve on her channel, go ahead and tell her in the description.
Yes.
And I'm also not perfect either, so you can check out my channel, JC Studio, and tell me what needs to be improved. Hey, if we help out each other, we'll grow better.
That's right. That's right. It's about growing.
You know, life is a process of growing.
Yes, it is. I don't know about this one. It's got a little dark spot there, Jacob. What do you think?
I'm not sure. Looks
well, we won't
looks
chance it.
full, but
if it doesn't look like a good nut, don't throw it in with your other nuts.
Yeah, you don't want to be too nutty.
Okay. Well,
too many risks.
That would be my suggestion. Now when they get a little dry looking,
they're
doesn't
still
mean
okay.
that doesn't mean they're bad, but
they're still
maybe
okay.
it's not as chewy.
Should I go grab more?
Yeah, because we need a whole bin here. A whole bin. Well, Daniel is out looking for parts. So he made a trip by himself, which he rarely does.
Yeah, usually Mom's with him everywhere he goes.
Yeah, Daniel's the one that really likes to have his wife along everywhere. But anyway, so he's out looking for parts, splitter parts.
Oh yeah, the log splitter,
Yeah,
it needs repairs.
We've got to repair our log splitter, and then we'll be doing more wood. More wood.
That might be okay. Let's see.
Wow. Well,
looks
here
like
they
they got
are.
back.
They made it back.
Talking about it.
Yeah. See, all you gotta do is mention their name and they come right back.
That's life, huh?
This is the life. Oh, the other day I made some of this up and I had left it in the jar too long and it turned what they call rancid. Well, now I don't know because it smelled like alcohol, like it was fermented. So I wondered, I said, I wonder if you could make beer out of this.
Yeah. And let's get cracking.
Let's get cracking, yeah. Who knows? Wouldn't that be fun to crack pecans and make beer at the same time?
That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
And yeah, and maybe drink beer at the same time.
I know some people do that.
There'd be a lot of people that like that.
All right.
Jacob's not one to like alcohol, but.